Okay, good morning everyone children. So today we will revise chapter number 3 and chapter number 4 for upcoming first periodic test. Okay, so let us see chapter number 3 first. What is chapter number 3? Chapter number 3, synthetic fibers and plastics. Synthetic fibers and plastics. Okay, children. Now, in this chapter, we have to study about synthetic fibers and plastics. Let us see what are synthetic fibers. As the name suggests, synthetic means they are artificially made. They are artificially made. They are not of natural origin. Natural fibers are wool, cotton, jute. These all are natural fibers. For example, silk also is natural fiber because they are obtained from either plant source or animal source. Okay, but these synthetic fibers are prepared in the laboratory using some chemicals called petrochemicals. Okay, these are also called man-made fibers or synthetic fibers or artificial fibers. Let us write down. These are also called, these are made in laboratories. They are made in laboratories. They are made in laboratories using chemicals called petrochemicals. Okay, since they are artificially made, so they are also called artificial fibers or man-made fibers. These are also called artificial or man-made fibers. Man-made fibers. Now let us see the examples of artificial fibers. Okay, artificial fibers, they are rayon, then nylon, then polyester, acrylic, etc. All these are artificial fibers or man-made fibers or synthetic fibers. Okay, children? Okay.
Okay, sir.
Now we have to understand how synthetic fibers are made. See, synthetic fibers are made from small units which are joined repeatedly. These small units are called monomers, and the large molecules that are made up by joining of these repeated units is called a polymer. It's called a what? Polymer. Okay.
Polymer.
See,
Sir, side please.
one minute. I will give you enough time to note. First of all, you understand. See, for example, if we consider a room as a polymer, so if we divide the room into smaller and smaller fragments, what will be the smallest unit that we will obtain after dividing the room? Can you tell me?
Atoms.
Brick. क्या मिलेगा? Brick मिलेगा. Brick. So brick is said to be a monomer, and the room that is obtained by repeated joining of bricks is called a polymer. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we will write down synthetic fibers. Synthetic fibers are made up of many small units which are repeatedly joined together, These small units are called monomers, and the large molecule obtained by joining smaller units are called polymers. Are called what? Polymers. Okay, children? Any problem?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay. Have you noted, children? Now you can note down. Now I am giving you sufficient time to note. Please note down. Poly means many. And mer means form or unit. Okay. For example, now shall I rub the board, children? Shall I rub the board?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I am rubbing the board now. Let us take example of polythene. That is a plastic. Polythene is actually a plastic. It is made up of repeating units called ethene. See, and the reaction is called polymerization. इसको क्या बोलते हैं? Polymerization. For example, polythene. Please pay attention. Polythene is a polymer of ethene. And ethene, you please see what is ethene. CH2 double bond CH2. This is ethene. So how it is formed? Let us see. Please pay attention. ये ethene है. What is this molecule known as, children? This molecule is ethene. What is this molecule called?
Ethene.
Okay, this is ethene. अब क्या होगा बेटा? Ethene. Now what happen? This bond will break. This bond. You can see this is double bond. No, दो bond दिख रहे हैं आपको? ये दो bond दिख रहे हैं?
Yes, sir.
Now one of these bonds will break, and hence here one bond will be produced, and here one bond. Okay. Now one another molecule of CH2 will add up. CH2 bond और जुड़ जाएगा CH2 का. ठीक है? बात आई समझ में कि नहीं आई?
Yes, sir.
Are you understanding or not? This is ethene molecule. and under certain conditions of the temperature and pressure, this double bond breaks down, and then there develops two bonds on two carbon atoms, and in this it is joined. There also one ethene molecule can be joined. Understand? And this process continues. Okay? And hence many ethene molecules join together. Many ethene molecules get joined together. This is called polymerization reaction. This is called what? Polymerization reaction. And hence we get polythene by repeated addition of ethene molecules. Okay? Write down. This reaction is called polymerization reaction. This reaction is called polymerization reaction. Polymerization reaction. Okay, children? Any problem? Please note down. I can see very less number of children have joined this class. Why it is so? इतने कम बच्चों ने ज्वाइन क्यों किया है? Now shall I rub the board?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yes, sir.
okay. Now I'm rubbing, children. Now let us see the examples of, we have seen no examples of synthetic fibers. They are rayon, nylon, PVC, acrylic, terylene. These are all artificial fibers or synthetic fibers or man-made fibers. Their properties we have to learn. Okay? Let us take these synthetic fibers one by one. Okay? Rayon. It is obtained by chemical treatment of wood pulp. Chemical treatment of wood pulp. Okay? And the properties are already with you. You please learn them. Okay? Can anybody
Okay, sir.
tell me the properties of rayon? Rayon ki properties, it is there in your notebook. Please read them down. Properties of rayon. Please read them down. Padho.
It is obtained.
Okay, leave it. Then you have to learn the
So may I-
properties of rayon, nylon, PVC. This you have to learn. Okay?
So may I tell?
No problem. You just look at it in your notebook and then learn. Nylon, PVC, terylene, इन सब की प्रॉपर्टीज पढ़नी है आपको, एक्राइलिक एक्सेट्रा. ठीक है, इनकी प्रॉपर्टीज आपको पढ़नी है. ओके, देन कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स ऑफ सिंथेटिक फाइबर्स. सिंथेटिक फाइबर्स के क्या क्या प्रॉपर्टीज है? दे इजीली ड्राई अप. ओके, दे आर ड्यूरेबल, दे आर लेस एक्सपेंसिव, readily available and easy to maintain. These are the properties of synthetic fibers that enable them to be used widely for various purposes. Okay?
Strong.
Okay, children?
Lightly.
What happened?
The synthetic fibers are
Now let us talk about the plastics. Plastics are also, they are also polymers. See, plastics. These are the polymers. Polymers. Okay. The polymers are of two types. Polymers are of two types. These are linear and cross-linked. Linear and cross-linked. You can see in your textbook also, when there is linear arrangement of monomers, these are called linear polymers, while when there is cross-linking of the monomers, it is called cross-linked polymer. It is called what? Cross-linking of polymers. Okay, this is. This is cross-linked polymer. Okay, ये जो एक unit है, this signifies one monomer. What is this unit signifies? This is one monomer. Okay, children? This is one monomer. Okay. Nowadays, plastics are being used widely in every area because the plastics have many useful properties, like they are lighter, they are cheaper, they are more durable, they are easily available, they are okay, and they can be used to store food items also. They can be used to store food items because food items do not react with them. They are non-reactive, they are non-corrosive, they do not react with the food item. On the other hand, metallic containers, some items like prickles or any other substances, food items, they may react with the food, that metallic container, and they may form some poisonous substance, and when we consume that substance, we may suffer from food poisoning also. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Understood.
very good. So this is what. But plastics have a disadvantage. Can anybody tell me what is the disadvantage of plastic? What is the disadvantage of plastic,
It
children?
didn't get decomposed in a near.
Yeah, it does not. It is a non-biodegradable substance, and it is very difficult to be disposed of. It remains as such in the environment. Okay.
It catches fire easily.
What?
It catches fire easily.
Yeah, it catches fire easily. Very good.
It cannot be decomposed through the natural process.
It cannot be decomposed. That is also good. Okay. Now let us differentiate plastics on the basis of their property. See, you might have seen that there are some plastics which can be remolded upon heating. Okay, but there are some other plastics which cannot be
Thermosetting
remolded
plastics.
into desired shapes upon heating. Understand? So such
Thermosetting
plastics which can be molded into desired shape on heating, they are called thermoplastics, and such plastics which cannot be molded into desired shapes upon heating are called thermosetting plastics. We have to learn their examples of thermoplastics and thermosetting plastics. Okay, children? Thermoplastics के example बताओ. Polythene and PVC. Polythene and PVC are examples of thermoplastics, while thermosetting plastics are bakelite and melamine. Bakelite and melamine are thermosetting plastics. These switchboards, they are made up of thermosetting plastics. Okay, children? Okay. Now, see, we have to reduce usage of plastics because now plastics are non-biodegradable. They remain as such in the environment. So we have to adopt 4R principle. What is 4R principle, children? What is 4R principle? What is 4R
Reuse,
principle?
reduce,
Reuse, recycle,
Eh? Reduce, reuse, recycle, and recover.
and recover.
Reduce, reduce, reuse, reuse, recycle, and recover. These are four. These is 4R principle. Reduce, reuse, recycle, and recover. Okay? Is it clear? तो reduce का मतलब है we should reduce the usage of plastics in our daily life. We have to search the alternatives of plastics. Like suppose we are going to market to buy some vegetables or some items, we should carry with us a jute bag. We should not take plastic polythene or plastic bag. Understand? So that is reduce. Reuse. Once you use the plastic, you have to use it again and again. You have to use it again and again. This is called reuse. Recycle means once the plastic is used in one form, it can be used in other form. It can be transformed to another form. Okay, children? That is called recycling. And recover means what do you mean by recover? What do you mean by recover, children? Can anybody tell me what do you mean by recovering? See, recovering means we should not use new plastics. We can save the plastic and we can reuse it again and again. Okay, this is 4R principle. So this is all you have to learn about synthetic fibers and plastics. Now let us move on to the fourth chapter. What is the name of the fourth chapter, children?
Materials, non-metals, and metals.
Metals and non-metals.
So you have to learn these things in synthetic fibers and plastics. So will you prepare well this chapter?
Yes.
Now let us start revising the chapter metals and non-metals. Chapter 4, materials, metals and non-metals.
What is the full form of PVC?
What children? Anybody asking any question?
Sir, what is the full form of PVC?
Polyvinyl chloride. Please write down. PVC means polyvinyl chloride. Sorry. Polyvinyl chloride. Polyvinyl chloride. Chapter 4. Materials, metals and non-metals. Materials, metals and non-metals. Metals and non-metals. Okay. So, see children, what you have to learn in this chapter is, you have to learn that what are metals and non-metals. Metals and non-metals are the elements. See, first of all, you have to understand that the whole universe is made up of matter. And matter is something that has mass and it occupies some space. For example, this mouse. Suppose this mouse, children, this is it. When I pick up, I have it is having some weight or mass, and when I keep it somewhere, it will occupy some space. So if something has these two properties of having some mass and occupying space when it is kept, it is called matter. And matter is made up of very fine particles called atoms. Okay, children? And similar kind of atoms. What, children? Yes, Tejas. What did I say just now? Tejas? Tejas Chaudhary, are you listening?
Yes, sir.
What did I say just now? Similar kind of atoms constitute an element. For example, sodium, potassium, hydrogen, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine. These all are elements. These all are what? Elements. Okay. There is a table called periodic table in which the elements are arranged in the increasing order of
Yes,
their
sir, I
atomic
have.
numbers. Okay, they are arranged in the increasing order of their atomic numbers, and elements based on their properties, they are broadly classified as metals and non-metals. Metals and non-metals, and there are some elements which have properties of both metals and non-metals. They are called semi-metals or metalloids. They are called what? Semi-metals or metalloids. Okay, children?
Okay, sir.
Now we have to know the properties based on which metals and non-metals are classified. So there are two types of properties: physical properties and chemical properties. So such properties which appear to us externally, like color, like hardness, whether it is soft or hard, like malleability, like ductility, like conduction of electric current, these properties can be seen externally. So such properties which can be seen externally, they are called physical properties. Okay, and chemical properties are such properties which is decided by the internal structure of the elements. Internal structure of the elements, they are called chemical properties. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So based on the difference between
Okay, sir.
these chemical properties, Tejas Chaudhary, you are not paying attention to the class. You are saying you are watching news channel. Tejas Chaudhary, are you there? You are watching
Yes,
news
sir.
channel and sending the news. Tejas Chaudhary. Tejas Chaudhary,
Yes, sir.
you are not paying attention to the class. You have to attend class with full sincerity. Don't see here and there, don't watch other things, and don't disturb other members of the class also. Understand? Okay. So, what I was talking about? Tejas Chaudhary, tell me.
chemical and physical properties.
See, so chemical properties we will discuss later on. First of all, we have to discuss the physical properties of metals and non-metals. So metals, they are generally harder substances. They are hard solids, but there are some metals like sodium and potassium. They are so soft that they can be even cut with a knife. Okay, but in general, metals are hard solids. Metals are hard solids, like iron. You might have seen iron, aluminium, copper. These are hard solids. Okay. Second, metals have shiny appearance. That means metals are lustrous in appearance. Metals are lustrous होते हैं, वो shiny appearance होता है उनका, ठीक है ना? Then metals are good conductors of heat. Metals are good conductors of heat. That is why they are used to make vessels to cook food, because they conduct heat easily. जो हम लोग खाना पकाते हैं, तो खाना जब हीट प्रोवाइड करते हैं, तो जब मेटेलिक कंटेनर में रखते हैं, तो मेटेलिक कंटेनर उस हीट को उस फूड मटेरियल में पास ऑन कर देता है, जिसकी वजह से खाना जल्दी पक जाता है. Can we think of a material made up of wood or any other material? Or any other material? No, because metals are good conductors of heat. That is why they are used to make cooking utensils. Second, metals are also good conductors of electricity. Metals are good conductors of electricity. That is why they are used in the electrical wires. They are used in the electrical wires to conduct electric current. Okay. Now, Kushag Soyal has raised his hand. Yes. Tell me, what is your problem?
Sir, mercury, mercury, that is a liquid. It is,
Ah, let me tell you,
sir, am
Kushag.
I
Okay, you
audible?
have completed your question. 1 minute. Let me answer your question, Kushag. See, I have just now told that in general metals are hard solids, but there are some exceptions like sodium and potassium, which can even be cut with a knife. And mercury is also a metal which is liquid at room temperature because its melting point is very low. Okay, Kushag.
Sir,
Kushag.
this is not my question. My question is the mercury. Sir, the mercury, that is a liquid metal. It is always a room temperature. Its temperature is very low, but we say that the mercury is a good conductor of heat.
Mercury is a good conductor of heat. Yes. Mercury is a good conductor of heat. You can see that when mercury is used in a thermometer, and when the temperature rises, it also flows. This shows that it is a good conductor. Okay, Kushag.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Now,
Understood.
understood? No. Now, let us move on. So we have seen that metals are generally hard solids. Metals are good conductors of heat. Metals are good conductors of electricity. Metals have shiny appearance. That is, metals are lustrous. Then, metals are sonorous. What, children? Metals are sonorous. That means when metals are beaten, they produce loud noise. They produce what? Loud noise. This property of metals is called sonorous. So metals produce sound on being beaten. So this property is called sonorous. Okay. Now there are two other properties of metals. That is, one is that when we beat metal, it does not break. So it is not brittle. It spreads, and it can be beaten into thin sheets. It can be beaten into thin sheets. This property of metals, when they are beaten into thin sheets, is called malleability. So metals are called malleable. Okay, children. Another property of metals is that metals can be drawn into thin wires. Like you might have seen that electrical wires are copper wires or aluminum wires. It is because that metals are ductile in nature. They are ductile. That means they can be drawn into thin wires. This property of metals is called ductility. Okay, children. Okay.
Sir, why sodium is soft?
Sodium. Why sodium is soft? Sodium is a metal which is soft. It is by its nature it is soft. Kushag.
Sir.
It is its property
Yes.
that it's soft. Okay.
Sir,
Now, yes.
sir, why
Kushag.
so? Sir, why the sodium is only stored in kerosene? Why
Yeah.
it can't be stored in petrol or any such substances?
Yeah, it can be stored there also. It can be stored there also because listen, the basic thing why sodium is stored under kerosene is that when it comes in contact with air and moisture, it readily reacts with them and catches fire. So in order to avoid its contact with air and moisture, it is stored under kerosene. Okay.
Sir, it can also store under petrol.
Yeah, to some extent it can also be stored in petrol also, but for convenience it is stored under kerosene only.
Okay, sir.
ठीक है बेटा?
Sir,
Yes, sir.
हाँ, yes. Yes,
sir,
Kushali.
potassium.
Kushali. Yes, what is the problem?
Sir, my Karishma.
हाँ, करिश्मा बोलो बेटा.
Sir, potassium is more reactive in than sodium in water.
No, sodium and potassium both are actually, potassium is more reactive than sodium. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Any other doubt? If you have, please ask.
Sir,
Yes, Karishma.
sir, can you tell the blueprint?
Acha, blueprint. Yes. See,
Yes, sir.
there will be 5 questions. They will be either they will be true, false, either they will be fill in the blanks. Okay. 1 mark each, and 5 questions will be objective type questions. Okay, this is 10 marks.
Okay,
Then
sir.
2 marks questions will be 5, 2 5 are 10. Then 3 marks questions will be 4, 12, and 4 marks question will be 2. Okay, beta?
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Any problem?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. Now see, then there are chemical properties of metals. Metals react with oxygen to form metallic oxides. When metallic oxides, they are dissolved in water, they form hydroxides. So metallic oxides are called basic oxides because when they react with water, they form hydroxide, and which is a good base. That I have shown you in the I have shown you how they react with litmus paper. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So metallic oxides are basic in nature, while non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. Okay. Then metals react with water to form what? To produce hydrogen
Hydroxide.
gas. To produce hydrogen gas.
Hydrogen.
Then metals react with acid to produce hydrogen gas. Okay. So these all chemical properties and metallic chemical properties and physical properties you have to learn. Then you have to also learn the uses of metals and non-metals that are given at the end of your textbook. Okay, children?
Okay,
Okay,
sir.
sir.
Okay. So if you have any doubt to ask, please ask. Kushag, you are still
Sir,
raising your hand. Do you have any doubt to ask? Kushag, Soyal?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. Bolo beta.
Sir, can you tell some neutral oxide?
Yeah, neutral oxides. See, those oxides which do not react with acid, neither they react with base. Okay. They are called neutral oxides. But listen, Kushag, oxides, they are not actually neutral. They are either basic or acidic. Slightly they will be basic or slightly they will be acidic. Okay. Kushag.
Okay.
For example, when we see carbon dioxide when it mixes with water, what does it form? Carbon dioxide when it mixes with water, what is formed, children? Can you tell me? Kushag, Soyal, which acid or base is formed when carbon dioxide?
Carbon monoxide.
Eh? Kushag, what is formed when carbon dioxide gets dissolved in water? Tell me.
Sir, carbon hydroxide.
No. Acha,
Sir,
1 minute.
carbonic acid.
Karthik, very good. Carbonic acid. Karthikeyan, you are here. You are not sending your assignments in the Google Classroom. When I am opening your assignment, it is blank. They are not properly handed in. Please check. Karthikeyan, are you listening? कार्तिकेयन, आपकी कोई भी असाइनमेंट नहीं आ रहा है बेटा? आ रहा है क्या? कार्तिकेयन, मैंने कई बार आपको बोला है, तो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड विल फॉर्म H2CO3. This is carbonic acid with water. Okay, so this is an acidic oxide. Okay, children.
Okay, sir.
Any other doubt?
No.
Okay, now then prepare well for your exam. I wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Have a nice day.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.